what we will use today. I'm going to use pencil just for simple sketch, simple composition. Okay, I'm going to use liners, different thicknesses. I don't know what actually, but I think it's gonna be zero one, zero one, try to start drawing, and please guys tell me, can you hear me? It shows me that sound is okay. Maybe now. Okay, let's continue. So I don't know, do you hear me or no? In any case, I'll try to continue explaining what I'm doing, and I hope that you will hear me, because I don't know. Please leave some comments. Oh, thank you. Now I'm happy and calm. So the problem was just with the microphone. So maybe I'll continue creating the looking for the composition and describing again what I'm doing. First of all, I describe the process and what I will use. So first of all, I'll use pencil. Then I take liners, and after that I take markers. Today I decided to use yellow one. It's not exactly yellow, it's a little bit orange, but I decided to make the drawings more like to give him mood and to make it more warm. So, and in the end, as usually, I use liners, thin liner, to add the last details. So now we're on the stage one. We are looking for the whole idea, whole composition of the drawing, and trying to find the form. So this will be the some street with a building on uncommon relief. Yes, maybe. Sorry for sometimes I don't know how to explain because I don't know some English words that will allow me to explain exactly what I'm doing, but anyway, I'll try. So this may be interesting. So, and also I described the paper that I'm using. I use quite thick paper. It's 200. I prefer not to use thinner because it's not good for liners, or not good for markers because they're pretty wet, and paper should be enough, should have enough thickness to take that liquid. I don't know. Thank you. I decided to add some background music. Can you hear it too, or there are problems with it too? So this is my I can say that second stream, and I'm just trying to figure out with OBS and how it works, and so your feedback is very important for me. So let's say some kind of test. Probably I'll take this one. So this is our hill. This is our main plane where the whole street will be placed. Let's find the form of the buildings. This would be something like comic style sketch with a comic environment, but with the elements of the real streets. It's like I like to mix these topics. Something like a bridge. And let's make some interesting buildings, interesting forms. Let's make them a little bit uncommon. This here will be the street, maybe, with some signs, lightning. And trees. Oh, thank you. Let's make the hill like other building, so it's not just a hill, it's a place for living too. Trees. And to create to show that this is the street, we have to add windows, and these windows, their quantity will show us the scale of the drawing. So for example, if the window will be
like this, so we know that's the the size of people will be like this. And it's for this drawing, it's they're too big, so I want to make a very small people, so to show that this is quite big part of street. So that's for example, this building can be like 4 or 5 story buildings, so windows should be about this size, to show that this is the one street, and to make the composition more clear, to show that this they're on the same level. I like to use rhythm of the windows. Of course, I add some other details to make it not so boring. But in this case, I'll use regular. Sorry, can't remember the word. To create the levels of the story, and after that I'll create the windows, and after adding the windows, you'll see the street, like the idea of the street will appear. So we don't worry about the quantity of line, because after adding some liner strokes, we will erase most of them, and the drawing will be more clear. Let's create some magazine, some stores, some cafes on the first floors of the building, on the ground floors, like in common streets. And on the first floor, from the first floor and higher, will be the apartment. So let's make this window like this. And even now you can see that you can see the size, the scale of the street. After adding these small elements, we now can understand the size of people and the whole and the other elements, because before that it was just in our mind, our idea. I like to maybe it looks a little bit weird when I use so many different strokes, and I mostly don't erase them immediately. I like to use them, because even when we create the windows, for example, the windows, these chaotic strokes, they can help us to find some interesting form. Um, I don't know how to explain it exactly. Um, they they gives us some expression, something that we didn't haven't expected, but in the combination of the with the combination of the idea, these chaotic strokes will give us some very interesting forms, and only these methods, only if we will not erase them, will allows us to see these interesting combinations. I hope I was quite clear, because it's for me it was really hard to explain, but for you I think it's even more harder to understand what I meant. Let's have big windows. This building will be a little bit more modern. And of course, on the top of the building, when we add some uh, smaller things like engineering things, they looks like a real they begin to look like a real building with all that stuff on the top of, of them. I know I should as an architect I should expand my vocabulary to know how to describe all these things, and I'm trying to constantly doing this, but it takes time. But I hope soon I'll be able to explain the process, the elements, and all the stuff more clearly. This type of building. Okay. Bring those here. Let's add some. I'm pretty happy with this part of the drawing, so let's continue with another part. I'm not sure about this element. I'll continue with this with the right part of the street, and it will show us should I do something with it or just erase it. Signs. Okay. big, huge tree with the big lot with the huge tree with a big and large shadow under it. But shadow we will see a little bit later when we will use the markers. So some elements I've already added here, and let's do something with the end of this part. Something like that. Probably I'll just erase that part. I don't think that is necessary in this composition. I think it's better without it. Yes, we have the more clear landscape. So I think that on this stage I usually use some I begin to use liners, but I have to admit that not always. Even in this case, we can use the marker without using the liner. But I'll tell you, and I even want to use the marker now. But in the list we have another stage with this guy, so let's use it. Next time I'll show you how to go a little bit another way. But for now we will use it just for some the most important shapes. Like this element, and the other parts of the building that are this is this with these lines I want to show you that there are other parts of this building that are behind this bridge on which this street stands. Van on the street. Let's add some other elements, maybe some people, some okay. Construction. I don't know, some kind of chaotic construction. It's something, some unreal forms for the bridge, because this bridge is like a combination of stone and metal. have some other parts of some building that is underground of this hill. So let's add some conditioners. I know that now the whole drawing looks quite messy, and it is in this moment. But a little bit later you will see that our razor will help us to make it like we want it to be, more clear and more understandable. So let's make some add some lightnings on the bridge. Of course, some of them will disappear when we will use the black markers, but we just know that they are there, and now we need them just to complete our composition of the drawing. So some of them we should create. We will draw again. Some of them will be drawn with black liners, and some of them probably will be created again with the white pen on the black shadows. I know that it looks that they are not so important on this stage, but for me they are. I just want to, even on this stage, I want to know the final result of the drawing, because again, when I started to create it, I haven't no idea what will be on it. So for me, the final result, it is also will be surprise. I hope the surprise will be good. Have to admit that there are some situations when you make the drawing and everything goes well, and sometimes perfectly, but in the end you can add some element that ruined the whole drawing, even though others think that everything's okay, everything's good, but you just watching on the whole picture, and the only thing you can see is that small piece that ruined all the idea of the drawing. I always try to not always, but I often try to throw such drawings away, but my daughter doesn't allow me to do this. Even when she sees some of these drawings on the trash bag, she takes them away and told me not to do this. She always tried not to show me that uh, she she don't tell me that she likes my drawings. She always tries to teach me. That she tries to show me that she knows better than me. But these little things, like like that I explained before, that told before, shows me that my daughter is my biggest fan. And that makes me really happy and motivate me to improve my style, to develop everything, every stroke, to study new things and techniques, and to make a new drawings. I spent about um, it depends on the situation, because now I don't have a lot of work because of war in our country, and but usually I spend at least about 3 hours. I try to spend at least three hours. I have my daily routine. This week I have to admit that I've spent less, because I've uploaded today many drawings on Patreon, to you be able to download the high-res pictures. I organized, made some renovation of on my website. I had a lot of work with all these different types, with I don't know how to explain, with organization of the drawings, of even this OBS streaming took a lot of time. So, but from the next week and starting from this weekend, I'm coming back to my daily routines, and I hope I'll spend at least about I want to spend at least 4 hours now, and not only sketching with pen liners, but also I want to spend more time on watercolor. So I do like watercolor sketching too. So something like that. So now we have on this stage we have a quite messy composition, but we can see what is on the drawing. And now I take this black marker and create the first of all the main shadows that will gives us to see the main volume. After that, I'll make the smaller part of the buildings, and in the end I will take the liner or maybe yellow marker and add some mood, add some other details. I'm not happy with all the things that I see on the drawing, and sometimes I don't know what to do with them now, and I hope the process will tell me what should I do with them. I really hope. So let's start from from this part. I'm a big fan of this flat part of the markers. I have to admit that this is the main thing that pushes me to make sketches with the markers. I even bought brushes for watercolor to make watercolor sketches with this effect. Can you please explain what do you mean? Does watercolor mess up the lines at all? I'm not sure I understand you right. Are you talking about that watercolor ruins the lines of liners? Or maybe something else? This huge shadow from this big tree that I've described previously. Yes, these most of these liners I have, they works good with water, but some of them don't. I even have a video in Reels on Instagram where I make some tests of all of my liners, and you can see that which of them works good and which not. But sometimes you also can get unexpected interesting result when water how to explain this, when lines goes with the water, and it also can be very interesting, and you can use it in your drawings. I know some sketchers, some illustrators that use this effect always, and it looks really good. stairs here. This building is I don't like it. I should do something with it. I'll make it at last. Not I'll create the shadows on it a little bit later, maybe. I have to think about what to do with it. Oh, you can see that how as I told previously, some of the part, even especially these lightnings on the bridge, will disappear. But I just quickly will show you what I meant. But we know that this little piece shows us that this is the place for it, and later we will do these small things, and the lightnings will appear again. This black element will show us that we have that the street continues in the left part, and we just don't show it. You can see that even with these shadows, the whole drawings begins look more clear, even though we haven't erased almost any of these lines. I still don't know what to do with this building, and that's why I continue work with the bridge. And while I'm doing other things, I still trying to understand how to correct it or make it interesting. well, now it's time something to do with it. Okay, let's try. Okay. Well, this part looks okay. Looks good. Let's add some more. Mhm. Such form here. Okay. Let's make some windows. Here. Sorry, I'm not talkative at this moment because I'm pretty focused on this element. I don't want it to damage the drawing, so that's the only thing I can think of in this moment. How I decide where to put shadows? I try to answer this question, but it's not so easy because some I try to put the main shadows that I know that they should be to show the idea of the drawing that describes that will show us the main buildings, the trees, bushes, the vehicles, the bridge. But the main to create the smaller parts, to know where to put these little strokes, the the small lines of the sketch helps me to find the right place. It's like I can't say that I know what exactly what that I'm looking on the picture, and I know that the windows should be here, 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 and they should have the particular form. No, I just try to find them in the process. Some of them, for example, like in these windows, I haven't no idea what I'm doing in this process, but I just wanted to do something there. I've made one stroke, and this element, this process will help me to find the place for the next one, and for the next one, and from stage from and it's like you go with the flow, just doing, and just sometimes you just not thinking much of what are you actually drawing, and just trying to relax. I don't know. I don't have enough words to explain the process. It's not a thing that I'm know exactly what I'm doing. It's just a process that helps me to find them, and that's it. That's why it is sometimes it's easy to damage the drawings, because you may you can create some strokes that you don't like, or that will not look so good. So, but I don't know. The main thing is to have a satisfaction of the process. In any case, if even though the drawing is not okay, but you are satisfied with the process, that means that mm, you spend this time like you wanted. Oh, I described it so complicated. If somebody will describe me this way, probably I wouldn't understand anything at all. Well, my daughter is here. Say hello.
Hello.
Малюємо. This is one of my biggest fan. She doesn't allow me to throw away any of my drawings. Я розповідаю про те, що ти не даєш мені викидувати мої малюнки. Да? Що, буду продовжувати? Закрий, будь ласка, двері. So you can see that this building looks weird, but it is not bad. I think I'll make it even better with liners. I should add some pattern on the walls. Thank you. Yes, my daughter is. My daughter does it. She shows me that I'm wrong. That I'm always I'm often is too critical or for myself. So she shows me that I shouldn't be so. That's why the most important thing for me is to get satisfaction of the process, because in my opinion, uh, when it's better to not to get the drawing but to get the satisfaction of the process is much better than to get the perfect drawing and spend and remember this time and spend this time during creating this drawing with stress. It's because the main idea why we do this is because we like it. So, oh, дякую. Я якраз хотів купити. О, супер. Дякую. My daughter just brought me these papers and I told her that I wanted to buy them and they just read my thoughts. So and talk about the process. That the main thing is the process, because when you're not satisfied with the hours that you spent on a drawing, it's like you spent part of your life with doing something that you didn't like. So that's why for me is the most important thing is to like even the smallest part of the process. Not always this happens, but I'm trying to reach it. So let's erase some strokes and make our drawing even more clean. Oh. It's too clean. I should add some more strokes with liners. Why I stopped erasing the drawing and took the liner, that's because that's about the thing that I described previously, that these tiny strokes gives me some interesting forms. And now when I don't have them, the drawings is too plain, is too simple, that I can't see them. And I wanted to create them first, and after that erase the lines that I don't need. But in this case I erased the lines that were important for me, and now I trying to create new. It's not a big deal, but for me these lines are very important. let's do some here. That. I think now I can clean it. This process is so interesting for my daughter that she always tries to be here and to watch the process. I told her that today I have a stream, and then she just came back home and tries to from time to time to come here and to look on the process. Да, Сашунька, тобі цікавий цей процес? Цікаво тобі. So you can see that the drawing is pretty clear now, and on this stage we will add some details with the liners, uh, 01 and 0.05, so pretty thin liners. But also, if we feel that we should add some more shadows, we can add some. Oh, I almost forgot that today we'll use some color. Sorry, I almost forgot about it. So let's think where we should add it. Probably I'll add it to some part, I don't know where. Let me think about it. Maybe I'll add it to lower part of the building to create the line of the first store, first floor and the ground floor. Ground floor is almost black. Let's add it to the first floor, and lately we will see. Maybe we'll add it somewhere else too. I'm not sure this is a good idea, but let's try. Why not? Even though we'll make some wrong, this will be the nice lesson for us for the next time. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. But also this, if everything will be good, so we can get the interesting unexpected result. To add the color works good with the near the trees, behind the trees. That helps us understand where exactly the shape of the tree and where the walls of the buildings starts, like in this case. Looks pretty well. We don't have any buildings here, but we can add a color, and it will shows us that there are some buildings that we didn't create it. So here we will create some part of constructions, something like that. That's it for now with yellow, and let's add more details. This stage may looks too boring, too slow, but for me it isn't, because I like I'm happy that I found my type of lines, and when I'm creating them, it's like a kind of meditation for me. So it's like I can spend this time thinking about something, talk a little bit. this stage is really exciting for me, and it's also very. I should be careful in this moment because I like this process so much that I can add too much details that will that the drawing will looks messy again, and on this time with the liners, and we can't erase them, so my advice to be careful on this stage. Let's add some birds. These two birds gives us the feeling of the volume, not a volume, the feeling of the space. That's why I always add them, almost always add them on the drawing. So let's add some strokes with light pen. The white pen, sorry. In this case, I just try to feel when they can look good, uh, and place them on that part where they can help us to discover the shape. And I also like to use it to show the frames on the glass, on the windows. This building is still very weird, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me. And I think the drawing is almost done. As I said previously, I can continue to add details every time, and as my teacher of drawing tells me, it's important to know when to stop. A little bit more details. I just can't stop. It's too exciting. Yeah, I think for now that's it. I hope you'll find something useful for you, and if you have any questions, please ask me. I'll be happy to answer them. And I tried to show you my process of creating such sketches. I tried to show you the process when you don't know what the result should be. When it's like it's about the process when you just want to spend time drawing something, creating something, and just create something from scratch. And I wanted to show you some of the small and funny problems that you can face on during the process. And I did wanted to explain you how to figure out with them, but I think in that time I was too focused to fix them, that I wasn't clear. So if you have the questions, I'll try to explain them in the comment field below. I'll find some new words that will help me to explain them clearly. But I think that you can find something in this process. uh, I think that the stages of the process, if you haven't tried them yet, you should. Maybe you should if you want. So for now, that's it. Thank you for joining, and don't forget, tomorrow on in the Instagram we have another stream with another very good sketcher, very good artist, and hope to see you soon, to read you tomorrow. So welcome, and nice to spend the time with you. See you. Bye bye.